As it was yesterday. So our apologies for that. Our Beijing counterparts there were trying their best to sort this one out as fast as possible. I know it can be a bit annoying. Trust me, we're in the same boat, buddies. Of course, talking about you, the viewers, as in the same boat as us, the casters. But then again, we're all here for the struggle. We're all here for the ride. Here we go. Immunity on the CT side are going to be facing Mongolz on the T, and the heat of battle is already starting now. It's going to be Grana's faction with the first frag there for his own team. He's dinked down not too much though. Moe ate a bit of a damage there. You can see he's 15 HP on the A side. And, well, he might just get something heading up his way there. Nope, actually Cabal and his teammate are going to be making their way towards the connector area there. They're going to be taking down Wizard. This is a 4v4 situation. Good one favoring the T's now, especially as Cabal picks up another frag. And they are heading towards the B side. There's not a lot of coverage there. One more CT comes in. It's going to be burned out. The ring backside there. Erica with some good shots from him. And that's a good way to start the round from Immunity. Good reply from them, but he's going to be taken down by NCL. And that's a good reply indeed. From the other side, there was going to be burnt, and his teammate Moe on 15 HP trying to retake the bomb as it gets planted down. Machine and Moe trying their best at it, but it's going to be burned out with the double headshot. Good start for Immunity as they pick up the first round. And also a good start for Mongolz. They do get a bomb plant and 3 frags out of this.
Yeah, so definitely good that they got the bomb plant out of it. Nonetheless, it is a big play from Immunity. I mean, Aircast had a couple of really big USP frags, and then we do see Bernard here with the final 2 to finish the job. So some good fragging back and forth, but Immunity is going to be out on top. They will get the 1-0 lead. Mongolz likely going to take a light buy here because they got that first round bomb plant there. They have that ability to go for an AK buy in the next round, so you will see them, get some P250s, but they're not going to put any armor or any utility really behind this other than that one smoke from NCL, the end-game leader. And just look to really play for that third round. So this should be a pretty easy 2-0 situation for Immunity given the decision Mongolz have made on how they're spending their money this round.
It seems to be a cerebral kind of type of action. They are opting to go for the purchase in the next round. And now there you go. It's a good start for Immunity here as they do get a frag onto Adobo. It's going to be luckily on their favor. And look at this. Erica already with the backstab angle there. Making his way all the way through connector. And now he's going to be facing the T's and 3 of them over there on birthday. He's been spotted so far, but he does get a Kobe inside of things. That's a beautiful nade thrown in there, Erica. He's going to be hunting for more frags, and I'm not too sure what CSGo wasn't watching that angle there, but Cabal does find the reply finally. However, it is a 2v4 situation. The bomb is in Cabal's hands. He does have a smoke and a deagle to work with here, but only 17 HP, and his teammate is going to be dying over there on the B side, as Burner Yoki will be ending him. Now Cabal, last one staying alive on the first party. There's not going to be alive for too long, it seems, as Wizards get the frag with the UMP. Money rolling in for Immunity. Happy days in the hood of CT.
Yeah, again, there wasn't really a whole lot to talk about that round. It was all about this round, right? You get in that first round bomb plant, saving up cash, and then making sure that you get a nice full AK buy in this round. You do see that happening. AKs all across the board. Cabal is going to have a pretty good amount of utility as well. There's a few flashes there, kind of spread about. As well as that one smoke on NCL. And again, typically Mongolz are a team that, can play pretty default. They like to do faster pace executes. They like to do a lot of run and gun. And again, it really does revolve around machine gun. He can take up a lot of different roles. Yeah. There's even times where he's like the guy toting around the AWP and like looking for picks, but he's also a guy who can rifle all across the map. So it really does feel like they put a lot of support structure behind him and try to make plays off of that. But we'll just have to see, what else they might have been working on to prepare for this event, or if they want to try something a little bit different. Because I heard that from talking to Bled that they were actually trying to get NCL to op a little bit more and free up Machine Gun to do a lot more pure rifling, whereas a lot of their recent online play leading up to this event, you saw Machine Gun opping quite a lot, actually, which is weird because, when he was on, Mongolz in the past, it was always like Zulkenberg who was toting the AWP around. Obviously, he comes in for Zulkenberg in this recent roster move, and Mongolz have been through a lot of roster moves over the last year or so.
Did you say Zuckerberg?
Zulkenberg.
Yeah. Last time, I'm kind of zooming, like I said, Zuckerberg. Did he get the Zuck?
No, not Zuckerberg. Not he didn't lead to go make Facebook or something like that. No, this is a different situation all entirely. But
fair enough. Well, there you go. You can see it on the lower third there. Microphone issues on the side of Immunity seem to be plaguing this matchup here.
Something about Australian teams and overpass.
Something about Australian teams and overpass.
It's just not really.
Yeah, well,
something about us casting the other as well. Apparently, is voted in. I mean, we did get through 2 maps yesterday just fine. So
exactly.
We were 2 for 3 yesterday, but now we're 2 for 4. So it's starting to go down that path of the percentage of us getting through games is.
Well, look, the good thing is that we're getting all the issues out at the the first 2 days
hopefully.
at the beginning, and then it's all going to be smooth sailing.
Hopefully.
This is just me being hopeful.
That's the optimistic view to view it.
Yes, I am a desperate hopeful man. If I can say that, I'm always looking at the bright side of things. But yeah, ladies and gents, once again, apologies for this delay. Our counterparts are looking to fix this issue as fast as possible. And, well, you know what that means? That means it's time for some sweet, sweet tunes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So dark, so heavy, man. Listen, one of the things that I really, really love about this production, which is on point, by the way, but one of the biggest things that I love about this is the music. It's just absolutely lovely every single time I hear it. So, you know what? I'm not even mad about that break, but still, would love to see some good CSGo, and here we go. 2-0, third round coming up here, and it's going to be Mongolz as Dustin, like with a good purchase there. A bit lackluster in terms of utility. None of the members from Mongolz here went for perhaps a UMP or a scout with utility. Do you think this will not be their best purchase?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be all about just whether or not they can win duels and just trying to get the AKs out there and take good fights. And CSGo actually is able to take down Aircast over there at long A, so that is certainly a good way to kick things off. There was definitely a heavy lean by Immunity on A. Aircast is kind of your indicator. He's the rotator, so he's either going to stack B or A. This time they went for a heavy A presence, but Mongolz are just tearing it apart right now. Cabal and CSGo with a couple of big entries here over towards the Parks area. And so now they have a massive advantage very early on. They haven't really had to do a whole lot to do it other than just win a couple of fights.
Turtling down on the A side there with a few smokes. The CTs will try to stay alive for as long as they can, but the action turns to the B side. All of a sudden, it's getting wide open there. It's going to be one more CT trying to defend this one. Wizard will have his best at protecting that place, and now he's getting dinked down to nothing through the wall. Cabal's going to make short work out of him. Gratisfaction, the only one staying alive for his team in a 1v3. He's actually going to be going for this. He is currently flashed out and he's trying to spray, but with that, he will let his position be known. That's not the best way to enter a site when you're in 1v3. He's got to check a lot of angles, so the best course of action here from Gratisfaction, of course, it does seem like it would be a save, and that should be netting Mongolz the first round up on the scoreboard. It should be 2-1.
Yeah, again, it just really came down to those first two duels that we saw take place over on the A side of the map. Just Mongolz, this is a round they didn't have that much into it, didn't have a whole lot of utility, so it really did just rely on winning fights, and they won those fights, and so that's what really matters in the end sometimes. It does just come down to kills at the end of the day. And so it is going to be the first round on the board for Mongolz. Immunity now will have to just try to salvage things here. Of course, their money's going to be limited as well. They'll get what they can. Still a decent buy, but obviously if they lose this, they'd be back on the saving. They will get an off into the hands of Gratisfaction this time around as well. Yeah. So we'll see if he can try to put that to use. Meanwhile, Mongolz have a lot more to work with now.
Yes, indeed. Both of the teams actually have a stronger purchase here. You've seen 2 UMPs in the round before there, if I'm not mistaken, on Immunity's side. This time they're going all rifles and op as well. Gratisfaction will be yielding that indeed, as Dustin has just let you know. And the utility on Mongol's side should net them an easier approach wherever they go. But this aggressive action coming in from Gratis will net him 1 frag. Now he will try to make his way out of there. He's got a teammate to work with. And apparently he will have a safe side towards A, but good reply from Togo. Bring it back into a 4v4. However, Moe's got to be quick on the refrag. And that is how Immunity choose to play. This is a very, very good strat. To get those refrags as fast as possible is one of the key elements to winning.
Yeah, I mean, just playing aggressively and being able to win some of those duels was definitely big. I mean, it's just kind of, you know, the tides turn from last round. This time it's Immunity winning the fights in these forward positions. And now Wizard able to clamp down as well and a push from Monster by Machine Gun. So the numbers keep tilting in favor of Immunity. So it could be Mongolz getting their economy reset. As if Wizard keeps taking on these one-on-one fights and he's winning both of them very cleanly, very taking any damage. And so now it's just NCO left in the 1 versus 4. There's really no hope for him left in this world for this round. So it should be Immunity keeping on to the lead and building on it. And again, it just comes down to early fights. This time it was Immunity that were the victors of them.
Yeah, true. NCO now with the smoke and a molly in his hands. He might opt to go for that molly into Toxic, but he doesn't know the positioning of the CTs. So he chooses a rather sneaky approach. Not making himself seen, but also not knowing where the CTs might be. He spots one finally and now does not turn his attention to Burn Are You Okay, which will be bringing him down to nothing. And now Immunity make it out of the round there with 3 members left alive. Their economy not fully healed yet, but they will be able to afford a very decent purchase. Now, on the side of Mongolz, though, not a lot to be said. Just Tech 9s, perhaps a few armors. That's the best that they can get away with.
Yeah, and again, just that economy reset. You suffer mass consequences from that, and so now they will have to do more with less, essentially. Just some Deagles, that 1 Tech 9, as you noted. A little bit of armor mixed in there, but no real utility, so they will just bunch up as a 5 and look to just attack something together as a unit and just try to see if they can't flood. But again, Immunity loves playing up front on this fountain position. They've been up here almost every single round, so looking to take the fight immediately.
That's what happens indeed. Fast-paced action there over on Toilet A, and it's going to be Gratis with the first frag there. Wizard will be taken down, so that's a good refrag coming in from Mongolz, but they're still trucking their way towards the A side, it seems. They don't want to give up that position. They got some sort of a territory to work with, and with that in mind, they're going to try to make the best play out of this as possible. Dobu will be swapping pistols and rifles with his teammate there. Bogdan's theory, by the way, I'm not that one. But yeah, a lot of people ask me that, actually, Dustin, are you the real Bogdan? Well, I am the real Bogdan, but not the guy you're thinking of. But anyway, yes, indeed, the more powerful weapon is swapped for a machine. She does have that sweet, sweet armor to work with here. Let's see if he's going to be able to put it to good use, because currently they're getting flanked in from toilets.
It's also, I think, that Machine Gun, like, they consider him probably one of his best fraggers, so you might as well put the 1 rifle you have in the hands of the guy you feel can have the most impact with it, or have the best chance to win duels. As you're obviously in a dire situation when you're on a low buy and you got to do what you can. And so it looks like they are trying to clamp down on A. They actually might bypass this mid player and be able to isolate the player inside sight. But now we begin to see Moe rotating to meet up with his teammates here on the A side. So now they have a little bit more backbone to this A defense.
Yeah, but this defense seems to be working out just fine. As Zerka finds a frag and Burno with another one. Be Moe on the A side there, and he's going to be, well, he's going to have his hands full because his teammate falls down, and now the entrance towards the A side might be just granted, but Moe's got some nice ideas, and with those he finds 2 nice handy frags for him as well. It's going to be 4-1 for Immunity, and they just barely escaped there from what could have been a more dangerous situation coming in from the half buy, not even a half buy from Mongolz.
Yeah, so we're going to see Mongolz being able to load up a little bit more, but still, the money is really hurting them right now. I mean, they had to go to a UMP on NCL, and they still don't have that much utility, so they're still suffering from that 3rd round reset. And it's going to be a little bit longer before they can, get that back intact. They need to win a couple of rounds really to be able to do that. As we are once again seeing Immunity put a little bit more pressure up close on Fountain. They do have their 3rd player over towards B this time around, though, however, so not as much behind the A defense early on. But we're seeing Mongolz looking like they just want to set up for a B execute right away. They have limited utility, so they can't really throw a fake or anything. Whatever they want to throw, they're going to have to, pick the spot and go for it. It seems like B is going to be the spot.
There you go. They're going to have to be honest in their utility use. Just made you aware about it now, and they are indeed. They're going to be going for the B side. But the start with Burn, Are You Okay, will be good for the CTs right now as they make their way inside, though. They're getting handy refrags, so it's going to be a 3v3 action. Until Burn steps in there, he's going to be finding one more for himself. 2v2 right now. It's going to be MCL, actually with 9 HP. That is pretty low, but Gratis is the first one peeking, so the HP doesn't really matter at this moment in time. His teammate's going to be helping him out there. Moe and Gratis trying to make their best towards this situation there. And Moe taking a bit of a damage there. Water. They don't know where the exact position of the two Ts are, and that's going to end to their demise. Immunity stay on 4. Mongolz go to 2.
Yeah, very close round. Comes down to a 2v2 in the end. Mongolz, though, able to hold off that retake, so a pretty tight race, but Mongolz finish it first, and so they will get a second round on the board, and this will allow them to get a little bit of a better buy going on as well, and they actually have Immunity on the back foot to, we're winning the bulk of the rounds, but some of those rounds were quite close. A lot of rebuying was taking place, so their funds have been drained, and so they will just be on upgraded pistols in their own right. This is going to be where Mongolz really gets a chance to kind of catch up, get their own bank intact. And we do see them opening up fairly default. Meanwhile, a lot of aggression from Immunity over towards Connector, stacking 3 players in this area.
And here comes the nice frags from Mongolz indeed. Will be a cleanup, absolute wreck house here. Of course, this was an easy round by all means and purposes. It should have been this way for Mongolz. They only lose 1 member, and there's only 1 member left for Immunity. That's going to be Burn, Are You Okay? Well, he's got a Deagle and a Dream right now, trying to peek out from various angles. He does not know where the T's are going to be attacking from. And I like the way Mongolz are taking this one nice and handy. They're not rushing into anything. They expect Burn to come towards them, and that's the way the round ends. It's going to be 4-3 now. Just 1 round of a difference between Immunity and Mongolz.
Yeah, CSGo just cleaning up, putting into the blender of Connector right there. But now we see Immunity back onto a buy. Grass Faction will have the AWP again. A couple of FAMASs coming in for Aircast and Wizard. You don't see the FAMAS that often. Usually teams will either M4 or you like UMP in a situation like this to get more utility. And the Grass Faction, of course, is going to be Glass Cannon, so it's going to make things a little bit tough. You see Cabal playing outside B right now, throwing a little bit of utility over towards short B. But again, all the action over here on the A side. Grass Faction does get that opening pick. A very nice shot on the NCL.
And now he's going to be making his way towards the A side back. No chance for a refrag yet for Mongolz. Machine will be holding on to that angle there. He's daring indeed in his pursuit, but there's no one to be found. Already Graz is back on the A side, and he does have 47 HP due to I think it was a nade at the very early start of this round, but still. Look at him, he's still being aggressive with Half-Life, and he's not backing away there, trying to peek and see if he can find some more action. Now he's finally returning to the A side, and yeah, the round slows down a bit there. There's a bit of a time here for play for Mongolz. They still have 1 minute left.
Yeah, see what they want to do here. They still have that player outside B that is going to be Dobu, which is kind of interesting because Cabal used to be their B lurker, but now you see Cabal being a little bit more active over on the A side of the map. So it seems like they've been making some adjustments, some changes, so to speak, to how they want to set up their roles. As we do see Dobu actually, crawling up in the corner and making sure that, if someone pushes Monster, you can get the jump on them. Meanwhile, they are gathering up with the bomb in that area, and they're going to have to make a decision soon. They're only down to 35 seconds. They are starting to get a little bit of presence on short B, so it seems like a split is going to be headed in this direction.
A lot of action is about to go down on this side. Erica does not know it for sure, but he suspects something, and now he falls down. Great start from CSGo as he opens up that site, but there's still 2 more CTs to watch out for. Wizard from the back angle there, and Burns going to be in water. This could be quite a dangerous approach if the Ts choose to go in there, but then now rotating on the A side. It's going to be CSGo left alone to defend that, but the bomb is actually going to be planted already. It's a 3v4 situation. 3v3 as I say that. Moe with a good opener there. He's going to be allowing his team to move in a bit further. No utility from the CT side, so they're going to have to go in nice and dry. Try their best to find the spot of the Ts before they get spotted first. Good rotate coming in from the Ts right now, and good frags coming in as well. 2v3 right now, Dilbo on 4 HP, and it's going to be Wizard and Gratis. The only one's remaining alive with an op there. Good shot from Gratis, but now he's the only one left alive in a 1v2 duel. He needs to make something happen, and look at this. He doesn't have a defuse, and he doesn't even have armor. So, of course, once again, the best course of action for Gratis will be to make his way out. Saving this op at this moment in time might just prove very, very worthy for the next round coming up.
Yeah, definitely can be useful with the money being tight. Came down to a situation where, like you said, not very much health, no armor, no kit, also no smoke, and with the way that bomb is planted, going to be difficult to ever be able to get onto it without someone spotting you from toilets or something like that and getting you off of it.
Look at that beautiful flank.
Yeah, it was a good shot,
pretty sick.
but the way this really played out was that Mongolz always maintained control of connector, and so it always gives you like an added option to kind of bail out of whatever you're doing. So you saw them gathered up at B, and they put a lot of utility on the side, but it was a fake. They still had connector control, so you could quickly transition if you have short B and connector right into an A hit, you know, pretty quickly. And that's exactly what they did, and they did catch people off guard. Grass Faction. Whoa, dude! Like, I mean, I know you want to try to throw people off and like, fearless. You know, push a fire, but he almost died to the fire, and then he still wound up not getting anything. So that gamble did not work out. That was not a good call.
Not really, no. It's just
he got cooked.
Yeah, he got cooked. That's just fearless. The way he pushes in through a molly, well, with absolutely nothing to back him up. No armor even. No contestant.
Yeah.
If you would have been hit with a, I don't know, with a fart from the enemy team, he would have died.
It's one of those
literally fearless player. This Gratis Fire. I love watching him play. It's a really enjoyable CSGo.
It's one of those things where you could tell what he was going for. Like maybe I can catch a good timing, not take too much damage, and catch them really off guard because they'll suspect that because that Molotov's there, there's no possible way I could be here. And so you're trying to like throw a wrench in things, throw your curveball to your opponent. In a round where that was like really the only gun they had, you know, they were trying their best to, you know, dice roll. But he got in that fire for way too long on short, took way too much damage from it, and so that left him with really no ability to actually try to make the play he was going for. But they're back onto a full buy this round. No AWP, but still full rifles and a good amount of utility. And again, they want to keep this forward presence on A. They've done this pretty much every round.
Yeah, indeed. A bit of an aggression there early on in the game, but it's not going to be working out to their advantage. Instead, it's going to be Moe finally falls down there at the hands of CSGo. It's a good start right now for Mongolz, and they're going to be looking forward to getting more land out of this one. And CSGo, really good openers. 2 frags for him this round, and he's already making his way from toilets. And it's going to be quite an open way. There's one CT on that side currently, with one of them rotating around to help him out, which means that the B side will only have 1 member left. And the bomb is actually going to be, might just make his way towards the A side, considering that the T's are also making a little bit of a progress over there on long. This might not be the easiest round for Immunity.
Yeah, again, Sogu just catching a great timing. He was catching Immunity members trying to drop back into the A site from their aggressive positions and just really caught them in awkward space, even gets one of them in the back. So, again, kind of like the pistol round, it comes down to just winning a couple of really early duels that sets the pace for the whole round, and now Mongolz are just snowballing it. But Wizard and Burn, are you okay? They're hanging around, and actually they have it back into a 2-on-2. Great plays from them.
And that's going to net them a very, very good chance of winning this. However, Cabal is coming in with a bit of a backstab, and this just might be what turns the round once more for the T's. Slowly making his way towards the A side. His teammate is left somewhere in the toilet area. He's not going to be making any moves soon, but he might just make a bit of noise to gather a bit of attention from the CTs. Yes, indeed, Machine Gun peeks out. Cannot spot anyone as Cabal approaches this site. Now he's been spotted first, so that backstab angle is not going to be working fine. The CTs will readjust their position, but it doesn't matter much. Machine Gun's got the frags, but Wizard does as well. 1v1 situation, Machine versus Wizard. Machine, an absolute monster when it comes to rifle power, but this time it's going to be Wizard coming out on top. And a good round from Immunity. Just barely making it out alive, but they do it nonetheless.
I mean, the backstab does come into effect there, but it just didn't have enough impact. Like, Wizard was still able to hold control of long A, get the refrag pretty much right away on the bank area. And then at that point, there just wasn't a whole lot of time left on the clock. Like, Machine Gun was forced just to try to go for the peak and make a play. There wasn't enough time for him to collect the bomb and plant it. He had to just go for the duel, and Wizard won it. So a couple of big kills from Wizard. Ties the game right back up. So we definitely have a tight race on our hands at this point, as we do again see Mongolz opening up fairly slow in default right now. They did push Dobu into short B pretty early.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit different, but he's just going to immediately take a fight and lose it to Aircast here over inside the B bomb side. So a quick 5-on-4. Yeah.
He peeked a bit wide, and that was to his decimation. With that in mind, look at this. Immunity now have full stack. Gratis does not have an out, but he does have a scout to work with at least, and now he's going to have to actually go back towards the A side as he was smoked early off of the round. Still a decent chance for Mongolz here should they really work together on this. They still have 3 smokes and 3 mollies and 2 flashes, so something could be done here, but it should be an honest push on either of those sides. And look at this, 1 minute left, and the bomb is still in T-spawn. It's going to be up to Machine Gun to pick that one up as he makes that bit of an aggression to distract the CTs.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Dobu trying to go for an individual play. It didn't work. Now they're giving Machine Gun time to see what he can do. He's trying to take some challenges over on the B side. Again, he's the guy that moves around the most on the map. You'll see him playing almost every spot at some point on T side, it feels like, just trying to, you know, be diverse and try to make plays all across overpass here. As we do see Mongolz, like you said, man, disadvantage, trying to see if they can't reel it back in, but Moe, that flash did not work out at all for Cabal. I think he got blinded by it. Moe, meantime, unaffected. Easy kill.
Look at this. Oh, great reply, though, from NCO. That's going to be working out just fine for Mongolz. That's until Moe steps in with a double frag from the UMB. He's doing really good work for his team right now, putting it at a slight advantage there. 3v2 situation now. In the meantime, Soga does find a frag for himself. But he's down to 11 HP, no real estate to be gathered, and the bomb is now in the control of the CTs. Not an easy round per se with 2 seconds left for Mongolz, and it will be 6-5 for Immunity. Very, very close match, and I see what Blett was talking about. None of these two teams seem to be kind of stepping away from one another.
And again, we were talking about it before the game, that this was like one of the hardest matches to call because we felt like these teams were fairly even as far as what they can bring to the table. And so far, this map has really
100%.
played out that way. It has been a pretty back-and-forth affair thus far. We do see Immunity stringing together a couple of rounds in a row here lately, and that gives them the lead back. But Mongolz are still right on their heels. They do have a full buy at their disposal. Again, very similar opening to the previous round. Kind of doing a bit of a default. A little bit more focused towards the B side of the map, though. As, again, Dobu does maybe look to try to get some of that short control again. I think there's a smoke down there kind of deterring him from wanting to make a play at the moment.
And no change of pace just yet. Mongolz still holding on to their slow type of play. And I feel like this would be a good time where Immunity would be caught slightly off guard if Mongolz would have changed the play, or maybe it would have been too predictable. And Mongolz are setting that up for a perhaps further round.
I think it's also the case that Immunity has just been playing so aggressive on the A side of the map most rounds. I think that's caused Mongolz to take a little bit of a slower approach.
Yeah, they're shirtling up a little bit. You're
yeah,
right,
trying
buddy.
to see if maybe they're going to go for the peak, maybe they can get a free kill, and then they can start taking map control. But Immunity's been faded back a little bit, so now Mongolz realizing that they're not up front. They'll now begin to start working into trying to get some map control. Looks like B is like a pretty big option with Cabal having connector control.
Well,
but that's kind of been shut down now by Aircast, so now it's like they're transitioning over to the mid.
Yes, indeed, you got it, buddy. Still one aggressor left towards the B side there. Bit of an anchor or perhaps a bit of a backstab later on. Maybe a bit of a lurker action role for himself right now. But it's got to be Wizard that will see himself some good action. Bomber very close to him. He's followed by 2 other keys. It's going to be Wizard that does find a good opener. Coming in for more, but it's going to be Sogo that replies, and that's a good reply. Because now in this 4v3, Mongolz can go in deeper on that A site. 3v3 situation with the bomb being taken down by Granite's faction now in his control. This is good for Immunity. What a close matchup here it seems as Granite's faction finds one more frag and Machine is all that remains. Now if there was ever a person to clutch for his team, it would have been him. But the time, unfortunately, once again runs out, and it will be another round for Immunity.
Yeah, the clock's really become Mongol's enemy because they're playing it very slow and they're waiting until like the last 45 to 30 seconds to start trying to make a play. And if you do that and like a couple of things go wrong, like you lose a couple of key fights, you're just going to run out of time. And Granite's faction was the one that dealt the blows there. Had a couple of key kills over towards the toilets area. And that really was able to shut down Mongolz. And so now you have Immunity on 3 rounds in a row. They're extending their lead a little bit, starting to get control of the game towards the end of the half. And this time we have a tactical pause. So this is an okay pause. This is the kind of pauses that don't cause alarm. It may cause alarm for Mongolz a little bit because they feel like they're starting to fall out of this half. But, they'll talk things through and see what they think is the best option.
But then again, they're not too far behind. Just 2 rounds of a difference. And they could make a purchase out of this, and that's what they're going to be going for indeed. So all they have to do right now is set their mind back, perhaps take away from that momentum that Immunity seem to be enjoying right now. And they should have themselves a good round. Maybe perhaps this is the time where Mongolz do change their pace, and that just might be a bit good for Immunity. Or at least, if they catch them off guard with those aggressive CT plays, that might also be a good start of the round. Let's find out what happens.
Yeah, so again, Immunity looking to push things early. They will send a couple of players in the connector. They actually have no A presence at middle or long A, so it's really focused on this connector area, and it seems like Mongolz will actually entirely bypass it. They're actually going to do a 5-man long A. This is so rare to see this heavy of a commitment at long A this early in a round. And I think this is really going to throw a curveball at Immunity, who are probably not expecting it to be this quick on this side of the map. They are beginning to rotate an extra player over, and Aircats could still maybe get behind them. So at least they're rotating well in Immunity.
Yes, indeed. A lot of fast-paced action will be happening from the long position. Choosing to play from one angle might just be detrimental for Mongolz, but they got a good smoke to work with here. But they're also falling down. Gratis through the smoke, nets himself one in the meantime. Burn, are you okay? Will net it out. Another one there, double for him. And he's going to be going in forward a little bit there. As he watches one of the T's burn, he will be bringing him down instead. Machine gun. That was an important frag. It's going to be NCO, the last one staying alive for his team with an M4 in his hands. And against an army of CTs, he's not going to be long for this world. And Gratis, quick work of him. It's going to be 8 points for Immunity, and they win their first half already with 8 points.
Yeah, a little bit of timing strike there, because I feel like if Mongolz would have hit the A bomb site maybe just a few seconds earlier than they did, they probably just find like a huge gap in Immunity's defense, and they get probably an easy plant, and then they can just play post plant from there. But it just so happened that Immunity did begin to rotate a player through bank from B, and he happened to spot them at long A, and that gave time for Immunity to begin to rotate. And then Burn, are you okay? Really big kills coming up over to the truck and lining up a few. And so that's now another round for Immunity. That's 4 in a row for them. And now they have Mongolz onto a save. So they've really gotten control of this half now, it feels like.
Oh, look at this. There's so much action happening on the connector side right now. It's going to be Grass that returns fire from one of his fallen teammates, but the rifle has already been picked up by the T's, and they're pushing forward with it. Cabell's going to be finding the frag, so that's a good start for Mongolz, who opt to go in hard. And, ooh, talking about hard, that headshot was super, super heavy onto Burn. Are you okay? Wizard trying his best, added a refrag for his fallen teammate, but it doesn't work out. Now, the last one staying alive is going to be Erica, and he takes one down, but the bomb is so far out of his control that he does not stand a chance to stop this defuse, or sorry.
The half, they fumble big time against a save from Mongolz. Again, a lot of action in that connector. Aircast still might have a chance at this. He does have a kit, a couple of flashes. He's in a 1v2. It's somewhat manageable. Gonna be difficult, though.
Erica tries to make his way towards the side. He's going to be finding one frag, but alas, he will die down at the hands of Machine Gun. And it will be 8-6, and this was an important round for Mongolz because they take the economy away from Immunity. They don't have that much left to invest in the last round of the first half.
Yeah, again, just a lot of, like, it felt like Immunity was starting to let the round spiral out of control, like they were losing numbers, so they felt like they had to keep trying to make plays to, like, get back into it, and they just never worked out, right? They kept losing the fights over by that squeaky door area, and so now Mongolz actually kind of steal a round away, to be fair. That should have been like the break for Immunity to get an easy round